Orange Kool-Aid. Oh, but here's my review of UFC 139. Yeah, I'm gonna review 6 fights. I mean, I guess we'll go on and start with well, I ain't gonna I really do a review. I mean, you know, Mike Brown couldn't do much against Seth, whatever the hell his last name is, but he got choked out. I mean, he tried to fight the guillotine choke, Matt Brown did, but he couldn't do nothing about it. Yeah, and I was glad that to see Ryan Bader get the victory after losing 2 times in a row. I'm glad he beat Jason Briz. KO'd him. KO'd him with a punch. Yeah, and you know, I was watching the free stream, I won't lie, and the Stephen Bonner versus Kyle Kingsbury was cutting out, and I only like seen the last of it. I mean, I was glad to see Stephen Bonner get the victory. I mean, he's on his winning ways, 4 victories in a row. And old Martin Campman versus Rick Story wasn't much of a fight. Old Martin Campman won by split decision. And old Brian Bowles couldn't do nothing against Rye Favor and got choked out. Yeah, I don't care much about Rye Favor. I hope Dominic Cruz beats him. Yep, and you know, it was a win or be gone for Vanderlei Silva tonight against Kun Lee. But you know, he put him away. I mean, now, you know, it'll be the question, will we see a rematch between Chris Leben and Vanderlei? But I think Chris Leben put him asleep again, because he tries to strike with Chris Leben like that, he's going to get knocked out. And I don't think old Kun Lee's that good anyway, because everybody's going on is just because he throws in kicks and shit. I mean, who has Kun Lee even really beat? See, that's the thing. He ain't beat anybody. I mean, you know, and Vanderlei ain't done that good since coming over from Pride. He's only won 4 fights in the UFC. Beat Keith Jardine, Michael Bisping, and Kun Lee, and won a fight back in the day in the UFC. But he's been beat by decision by Chuck Liddell and Rich Franklin, been knocked out by Chris Leben and Rampage. So, yep, and then on to the main event. I mean, dang, you know, it went the whole 5 rounds. I mean, it was something to see. You know, I mean, I know Dan Henderson had done enough the first 3 rounds, and you know, he'd won the first of the half of the 4th round. I mean, all Shogun won was the second half of the 4th round, and won the 5th round. And I knew that Shogun wasn't going to stop Dan Henderson. Nobody's never knocked Dan Henderson out. I'm not saying he could never be knocked out, but you know, and the question is, who's Dan Henderson going to fight? Does he want to fight the winner of Shell Sun and Anderson Silva too? Or does he want to fight John Jones for the light heavyweight title? And you know, and where does Shogun go for here? I mean, you know, Rampage was wanting to fight Shogun, but I mean, you know, it could happen, you know, now. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see, because, you know, Shogun, all he did was get beat up. He get knocked out or submitted or anything like that. I mean, old Dan Henderson got real tired. What happened to him? He just didn't hardly have enough, just had enough to survive. But like Shogun didn't get tired, because he still had it in. He kept bringing it. You know, I mean, You know, he survived, you know, all of Dan Henderson's big old punches and shots he hit him with. I mean, you know, well, I really like Dan Henderson. I'm glad he's back in the UFC. I mean, I like Shogun too, but I wanted Dan Henderson to win. Yeah, and I'll tell you this, old Uriah Faber don't win, you know. People ain't going to think much of old Uriah Faber anymore if he fights, you know, Dominic Cruz again and loses. See, they probably want Dominic Cruz, I mean, not Dominic Cruz, Uriah Faber, you know, they probably wanted him to be the big, you know, main guy for the bantamweight division. But that may not be happening. But yeah, it was a good event. I'll be definitely getting it on DVD, you know, and all the fights, you know, that's on Facebook and on Spike TV. But I mean, you know, for long, I guess there won't be no fights on Spike TV except reruns of old fights and stuff. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens, what the future holds. But take care. Bye.